Hello, everyone. Wow, we're live, we're live. Wow, wow, this is beautiful. We're live for day one of our boot camp. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Who is here with me? Who is here with me? Who is here with me? Let me see you. Let me see you. Let me see you. This is beautiful. Oh, yes. Wow, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Peak Achievers Community Bootcamp 2.0. Wow, very happy. Who is here with me? Would someone indicate? Let us know. Start joining in. I call you forth to join me from the ends of the earth. I call you forth. I call forth everyone who's to be blessed, who's to be impacted by this training. I call you forth to come here to join us. Okay, who's here? Who is here? Who is here? Wow, someone has joined. Please, as you join, feel free to comment your name and where you're joining from. We'd like to vibe with us. We are set for day one of our bootcamp. This is very interesting. Oh, this is very interesting. And please give StreamYard access so that when you comment, you can see your name. We'll not just see Facebook user. Okay? Give StreamYard access. All right, so that when you comment, we'll see your name. I know you can see mine. Okay, Joseph Uchuku. That's right, that's right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. And if you know your friends who is supposed to be here and is not here, quickly share the link, share the link, share the link to the group. Let the person join in. This is going to be powerful. It's going to be hot. Okay, our speaker is going to be joining us soon. He's concluding a session. Then he will be joining us. All right, this is going to be powerful. This is going to be powerful. I know you don't want to miss this. I know you don't want to miss this. So, who's my guest? Comment. I would like to just comment your name, where you're joining from. At least you're the first person on the stream, so you deserve a recognition. All right. So, who's my guest? Who's my guest? Waiting to see others join. All right. Okay. So you're using your mom's phone to join. Welcome. Welcome. What's the name? What's the name? Like to know your own name, in your name and where you're joining us from. Okay. Yeah. This is okay. Okay. This is powerful. Okay. Christabel from Calabar, Nigeria. Christabel from Calabar, Nigeria. Welcome, 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 Christabel. So happy to see you. So happy you're joining us to be a part of the Peak Achievers Bootcamp. Peak Achievers Bootcamp. You know, the Peak Achievers community is a very interesting community. Is a community that has been raised to bring people to live their best lives. Okay, it's been raised to help people be their best and achieve the peak of their life. So it's open for both those in their late teens, young adults, and all, and even you know young 30s, 40s. We have people who are 40s, 50s here who are joining. So it's open for everyone. It's open for everyone. It's a community that helps us to bring out our best. And I'm very conscious when I use the word your best. The world is unfortunate that many times we look at the world as a competition, we are just interested in the competition. No, it's not about competition. So it's not just about being the best, because I usually say you can be the best and not your best. It's common, they say a one-eyed man is king in the midst of the blind. So rather than even go on to seeing with his two eyes, he's comfortable because in the midst of the blind, he's a king. So we're not just talking about being the best steps of competition. We're talking about you being your best. I think our guest is around. Wow, our guest is around. He just finished speaking somewhere and he's here again. See, you need to celebrate grace when you see it. Okay, so I'll be bringing him on because we don't have a lot of time to waste. He needs to rest. After pouring out enough value, he needs to rest. So we hopefully more people will join us as we progress. So I dropped on the group a little about him. Coach Chijioke Otipa is um, is a personal development coach and a growth mentor. And there's one unique thing I love about his style. He's someone that I'm drawn to because of his love to break rules. Okay, his love to break rules attracts me to him or attracted me to him, and then his intentionality about seeing people grow. His intentionality about seeing people grow, seeing people be their best, and then his commitment to competence, okay? Not just about there's a lot you see people do, they talk about branding, how to position as an authority. It's good, it's true, okay? It's what it should be. But then he's committed to helping people be authorities while positioning as authorities. This is a nutshell. So he's interested in growing people to be competent across different niches. Across different niches. So this makes it very interesting and makes me very much drawn to him. And then um, you know, we decided that he would be our guest on this platform. Truth is, maybe I've not said this, but he's while planning this, I'm a person of faith. So while I plan, I pray. So it was the midst of praying to know who would be among the people that would bring value to the table at this boot camp. And then I believe the Holy Spirit drew me to bring him up as a guest. So we're in for value overload. You can connect with him by the link. If you check the community, I dropped his link there. His both for Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that. And so quickly we'll make welcome Sir, our coach Chijioke Otipa. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. We're glad to have you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I didn't even know my mic was muted. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I just came off an event right now, and funny enough, the event is quite similar to this one. Very similar. The topic is self-discovery for impact, and this time around we are talking about uh, discovering your uniqueness, right?
Yes, discovering and maximizing your uniqueness.
Good, good. Discovering and maximizing your uniqueness. So it's very much it's pretty much the same. There's a lot of similarities, and I've been teaching self-discovery for a while, and one thing I've been able to discover is a lot of people have that as an issue. A lot of people have that as an issue, and we happen to be in a society where people paint the perfect picture of success, and they don't let you have the chance of experiencing success for yourself or understanding what success means to you. This is the reason why people compare. This is the reason why people fall into the comparison traps, because you've looked around and this person has 10,000 followers on Facebook and I just have 3 followers, and you start comparing yourself because you think, oh, this is the description of success. Somebody comes and says, oh, I just made 500,000 in affiliate marketing in 3 days. And you feel like, my own life has finished. How
Has
can
finished.
this person is younger than me now? This person is younger than me. Why? But it's because the society has created expectations of what success should look like, and it drags you away from your identity. Now, if you are going to succeed, really, the way success should be for you, you should be able to start with understanding who you really are. Understanding your uniqueness. The class I taught today started with that point. It said, you are unique. God did not create any two people exactly the same way. Even twins, even identical twins. You are unique. You are different from the person next to you. You are different from the other content creator. You are different from the other guy who is on Facebook making noise, or the other lady who is on Facebook making noise. There's something in you that makes you different. And one thing I want you to understand is this. Stop trying to be like other people. Stop trying to be like others. Discover your own uniqueness and use your uniqueness to thrive. Build strategy out of your uniqueness. You are different. That is the peculiar message for this class tonight. You are different. Embrace that. The thing I always tell people, you are the best version of you. You are the best you in the world right now. There's only one you in the whole wide world right now. And that one you is you. There's only one person that has a chance at becoming a better version. Only one person that has a chance of becoming better at being you. And that person is still you. So if there's something you are at least this one, you are number one. You are first position in the whole world right now. Understand that. So when you embrace your uniqueness, you can grow from that. You can grow from that angle. So I talked about the principle of individuality. And so let me talk about factors of identity, factors that influence your identity, or core factors when we talk about identity. So the first one is character. There are 3 of them that I wrote down here. This is just a few minutes before I came into the training. Character, choices, and cognition. Characters, choices, and cognition, or cognitive abilities. We are all different in these terms. Your attitude, your behavior, your character, your body language, all those things, your habits, all those things are different from the person next to you. Then we talk about the cognition, or let me see, the choices first. Choices. There's something that makes people want to live in Lagos and not Abuja. I think about it and it's crazy. I'm currently in Abuja and I find it hard to believe that people are actually living in Lagos. Good evening. I went to Lagos twice. That was last year, toward the end of last year. I went to Lagos twice, and after the second experience, I said no. I can't be here. I said, I summarize it in simple terms. I am not mad enough for Lagos. I'm not mad enough. The fact that somebody wakes up by 4 a.m. to start preparing for work and
As
gets to the
this.
workplace by 9 a.m. and gets queried on top, I don't seem to understand it till date. But people, to some other people, that's life. That's the fun. Somebody was telling me that he stayed in Lagos, that he can't stay in Abuja, that he can't. I'm like, what? But that is it. You have choices. God has given us that deposit. We have the ability to choose. So our choices may not be the same. Okay? Or even your best friends or your siblings, the choices will vary at different intervals. Okay? So if somebody says, Dangote Indomie is my best. I mean, Dangote noodles is my best. And somebody says you are not serious with your life. How can you be enjoying Dangote when Indomie is there? And you are looking. For me, I don't have choice. Every noodles is noodles. Once I see, I chop. That one I did. All the noodles I know are noodles. That's for me. But somebody will see this. Somebody will even taste Dangote and spit it out. Say, I can't take this. This is not Indomie. Ew. I'm like, how do you even know the difference between this one and the
I think that's at me. That's you're talking to me.
other? Okay. So that's it. That's choices for you. Now, talking about the next one. Um, People still have even these choices. People have choice of friends, choice of books, and stuff like that. Talking about the next one, cognitive abilities, in terms of intelligence, in terms of memory, people differ. You are different. So you have to be able to study these things, understudy these things, and know who you really are. And this is why a lot of people struggle. They don't know. You see a lot of students, they don't know. They think everybody's reading at night. Let me read at night as well. You know, everybody's claiming to do this one. Jaco, let me do like them and do this. And everybody's buying textbook. Let me buy textbook too. Let me buy new textbooks like every other person. You don't understand what works for you. I was able to understand that for me, textbooks never work. You know, the classroom was also too boring for me. I did online courses a lot. I realized that, oh, I learned better from online courses, not even books. I started taking courses and watching YouTube videos. Majority of most of my curriculum in school, YouTube deserved my school fees for that. Because I learned almost everything I could learn, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. I was using a lot of YouTube and online learning resources, not even textbook or class notes, because I didn't understand those. It would have been foolishness for me to think, oh, because somebody else is doing this, it should work for me. What's good for the goose may not be good for the gander.
Yeah.
What's good for the goose may kill the gander. That's my own ideology or
Definitely.
philosophy.
Yes.
So, let's get to the dangers of not discovering your identity or not discovering yourself or your uniqueness. What are the dangers? So the first danger here is identity crisis. Identity crisis. Not knowing who you are can result to that problem, that feeling of dissatisfaction. At this point, you think, oh, I'm meant to be a sales coach. All of a sudden, it's no longer sales coach that is trending. I'm meant to be a personal development coach. And all of a sudden, you don't know again. It's not personal development coach that is doing you. And you're like, oh, let me digital marketer. Let me use digital marketer. At the end of the day, you realize that people don't rep digital marketers. You don't change it to, you just keep running around because you do not understand yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you cannot do many things. I do many things. I do plenty things. I can't even count. I teach plenty things, but there are strategies to these things when you have clarity and when you know who you are. Starts by embracing who you are. If you're a multi-potentialite, you also embrace that fact. You know, one of the things you must do if you are going to be, if this journey is going to make sense to you, is to cut off from myths and biases. I tell people my only business with myths and biases is to bust myths and break the biases.
Break the
I bust and
bias.
break with violence.
Ah, our violence coach.
So anybody is coming to tell me, you do this. I had people who disturbed me, who disturbed my life. Today you are teaching personal branding, tomorrow you are teaching e-learning. Won't you confuse your audience? I'm like, did any one of them come to you to complain that I'm confusing them? You know, it's never been the case. People would rather come to me, say you teach this one and this one and this one. Do you also teach this? Do you have a book on this? Yes, sure. Okay, let me do this. The only thing I'll be doing is if you buy three, I'll give you discount. If you are coming for the four, I'll give you this. Okay, my mentorship program covers all this. So if you are coming for, that's the only thing me I'm stressing my head on, you know. But it's never been the issue of jack of all trades, master of none. I'm not a master of none. I'm a master of many trades. Part of what you have to ask yourself, what you have to discover about you, so that you don't have that identity crisis. That's one of the dangers. I started talking about some other things I'll talk about in the future. But let's continue. The next one is confusion-induced depression. Confusion-induced. Why is this net showing here? Way mosquito and this side of the world. It's well. So I was saying something. Confusion-induced depression. There's this feeling of low mood, anxiety, depression, low sense of self, that comes with not knowing who you are, not knowing what you want to do, not knowing where you are at this point in your life. Sometimes the question will be coming to you, I just did my 20th birthday, I just did my 21st birthday, I just did my 25th, I just did my 30th. My time is counting, my life is just going by, it's just going, and I've not discovered what I want to do. People talk about purpose and it still sounds scary. What's all this? What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know what next. I don't know left from right. It can cause depression. It can cause people to go down. So that's one of the disadvantages. That's one of the dangers of not discovering your identity or discovering your uniqueness, yourself. Your uniqueness is a selling point. It's not a problem. It's not a cost. Your uniqueness is your selling point. That's why even in marketing, we have what we call USP. Your USP is like your biggest marketing, your biggest marketing leverage. If you are going to compete with Elon Musk tomorrow, your USP is what will be doing the speaking. What makes people leave Pepsi and drink Coca-Cola is USP. They have a USP, whether it's in terms of their brand message or in terms of their brand content. There's something that's making people say, oh, this one is different from this. If you go and copy one brand, just copy everything and change the name. There's no difference. There's nothing special, nothing unique. People are going to go with the one they already know, not who are you. There has to be something unique. So your uniqueness is your selling point. It's not a problem at all. But that's when you know how to manage it. So the next one is okay, I talked about confusion-induced depression. I talked about the next one is unhealthy comparison. Unhealthy comparison. When you don't understand yourself, when you don't understand what success means to you, you keep comparing yourself with people who have already made it online. You keep comparing yourself with every influencer. Anybody who posts, hey, I just made 350K in 2 days. I just made this one. I just landed a job. I just landed this. I just landed it. Because people keep announcing these things. They keep announcing their wins. And this, you can't help it. See, you can't help. Forget. I'm not the kind of person that will give you unrealistic hope or unrealistic advices. I'm not. I'll tell you the way it is. You see, envy is bound to come. Jealousy is bound to come. You can't help it. You're a human being, for crying out loud. And these things are being bombarded and bombarded day in, day out. Some of them, they are doing it to oppress you. That's their intention. Some people are coming online to oppress you. You have not joined. After all the posts I made, you want to tell me that you are still sitting there? You've not joined Expatnia. Thunder will fire your business. You can never make it in life. You are still sitting there. How much is your salary? I made 750K in 2 days. How much is your salary? And you are like, hey, that's the goal, to oppress you, nothing else. Press you into joining their team or whatever. If you are not careful, you will just keep running around and around. By the time you join Expatnia, they will not tell you, no be Expatnia, they give money again. No, there's this thing called Amazon KDP. Amazon, this person made $3,000. This person made $5,000. This person made 9,000. And you're like, what's wrong with all of you? Can't you people stay one place? Like, stay one place. Let me come and meet you people there. Once I come, you carry it and go. You'll be shifting the goalpost. So you have to be able to understand that too. You have to be able to know what ticks you, what success means for you, how your own journey is, what is that thing you are called to do. If not, every success announcement will look attractive to you and at the same time painful. You know, you don't know what you want. So somebody announces, I got a job with Google. And you're like, hey, God, when? God, when? I've not even gotten a job with even if it is one Yofaku in my street. I've not even gotten a job with her. It's now Google. God, when? You know, somebody announces, I just landed a gig on LinkedIn. You're like, hey, this LinkedIn stuff, I never even joined. What is all this? People are LinkedIn up and down. You just keep comparing and comparing and comparing yourself, and you will not be satisfied with your own growth. You can't focus on your growth. You can't focus on your own journey. You can't focus on your own success. So the next one is square peg, round hole phenomenon. Square peg in a round hole phenomenon. If you're a square peg, let me tell you what pegs are. It's not like cloth pegs. When they build houses, there's this thing that what do they call them again? The contractors used to mark out the land. You know, they will mark it out, put wood. They will put wood. They will be putting wood on the ground and make the ground, put the rectangular shape where they will build, maybe mark the foundation and start digging, right? So the those wood, those what is it called? Is it 2x2 that they use to troop inside the ground? Abi, to force into the ground and hit it until it enters. Those things, because they actually dig the floor, dig the ground in a shape, in a particular shape. If it's square, they will have to dig a square shape, dig it and fix the wood. Now, those things are called pegs. When you use a square peg and you dig a round hole, it will not fit, it won't stay. So when you do it, to scatter everything, So that's just an illustration of you trying to fit into where you don't belong. A lot of people graduate from engineering. I see first class engineering graduates who can be working in a bank. What are you looking for inside bank? And you ask the person, is it that you like banking? Like, what brought you here? So, nah, that's job no day this country. I agree. I understand. It's Nigerian factor. But what happens to your dreams? What happens to your passion, your vision, your mission, your mandate, your purpose? And at the end of the day, ask the person, are you really enjoying it? No. I'm overworked, I'm burning out, I'm stressed out, I don't know what these people are doing. My manager is a beast, he's a monster, he's the devil's junior brother. Why will you enjoy it when it's not your thing? You know, some people will just, because they see alert. Once you see alert, your mind will just, you will not remember again. Some people join network marketing like that. I did. I did. I joined network marketing. And up till today, all the platforms that I have not made 1 naira. All of them that I joined, I've not made shishi. Because at the point I just there was the one I joined one time, created a group, finished teaching, dropping motivational quote and everything. My brother was in that group. At the end of the teaching, he just left the group and came to my DM and laughed laughed at me. I did not know. I did not know why he was laughing. But later on, I just realized that this thing is just not for me. I'm not cut out for it, you know. So those experiences I had, those mistakes I made earlier, now give me that that confidence and solidification that I know what I don't want. I had a lady who followed me up to join her network marketing company for almost 1 year. This lady was chiking me like say I be woman. She was hey, anything I will post on my status, she will come to my DM immediately. Have you finished thinking about it? Hey, women they try you. You know, if you disturb a woman the way that lady disturbed me, she will fall. I'm telling you, she will fall for you. Anything I do, any small move, join us this Zoom meeting. We are bringing. I told her I don't have time for a Zoom meeting. She continued and continued until I now finally joined the Zoom meeting. I thought it was an empowerment seminar or whatever. They now started, they were just pouring testimonials. This person grasped great stories and all that. And at the end of the day, they pitched the platform. The goal was to make, was it 10 million in how many weeks or something? I don't know how they did it. Me, I left. And I didn't block her, but I think I sent her a subliminal message that would let her know that this guy is really tired. Just leave him alone. So she stopped disturbing me. So I came to realize that I'm not the kind of person that will be going to meet people and say, oh, join this so that you can bring people to bring some people to. It's not my thing. I don't have a good feeling about it. Okay. I'm good with meeting people. I talk with people. I connect with people and all that. But it's not my thing. So recently, I got another person who they initially told me I was to come and train, come and train come and teach networking. I was like, this kind of opportunity to come and teach this kind of thing. It was interesting. I was ready to go. But later on, the lady now called me and we started talking. And I discovered that it was not to come and teach. It was actually to come and join the session and sit down there and listen to them talk about all those things and then pitch the thing to me so I can pay and register and then go and start looking for two people to bring. Network marketing is not bad at all. It's good. It's a very good, business model. I don't like the way a lot of people go about it, and I've come to realize it's not something I want to do. So you also have to understand that so that you won't be running around. Yeah. So that you don't end up as a square peg in a round hole. You don't end up as a graduate of education that is working in a bank, or a graduate of education that is sweeping road. Some things are just out of place. If you are not in the right position for you'll burn out often. You'll get tired often because it's not what you are made for. It's not what so you get tired. So the next one into descriptions are for you. You'll be trying to force yourself into circles that are not for you. So you feel like, oh, because I want to belong, let me just join these people. no sense of association. When you discover who you are, you begin to attract the right kind of people through your posts that you make, because you know who you are, you know who you are serving, you know who you are putting, you know who you are putting out your content for. You know what you want to do. So when you make such content, there are certain people who will be attracted to the content, and you just see, you become friends. Sometimes people will say it's law of attraction. I don't fully agree with the law of attraction thing, because no matter how you think about 1 million naira, if you don't get up and work, 1 million naira will not appear in your account. If it were like that, hey, I would just be,
You think?
I'll just, I will write 1 million naira. What is 1 million? I will write $5 billion. 5 billion is even small. $100 billion in my book. I'll just be buying long notes on every line. $100 billion. 100. I'll feel all of them. But it doesn't work. We all know it doesn't work. It does not work. So, but the thing is, when you begin to strategically align your mindset, strategically align your content, strategically align your brand message to a particular thing, you begin to attract opportunities. Why? They see it. They see it. Law of attraction. Your neighbor can be cooking indomie, and you are very hungry. Because they are cooking indomie, and the odor, the fragrance, the sweet smelling savor of the indomie is coming out with the egg, it's coming out and penetrating your room. And then you bounce up and you decide to, I know this my neighbor, we've been quarreling, I've not been talking to you, but the Lord is telling me to make peace right now. You know, leave, by all means, you have to live at peace with all men.
Yes.
So you now remember that part of the scripture in Hebrews. It says, follow peace with all men. And you get up to go and make peace. It's when you get to that room and knock and open and say, oh, I want to, I'm sorry if there's anything I've done to you in the past. I've actually been, it's been touching me for some years now to come and make peace, and I'm here. And the person now says, okay, I know it's Indomie you came for. This Indomie, I'm selling it. And the plate is 500 naira. You're like, just put for me. Just forget everything. Just put for me. That's opportunity. That's opportunity. But it came because there was an initial action that prompted that action. So when you begin to post your content and people see, oh, this person is a personal development coach, I want to learn. I want him to mentor me. I want this. I want that. I want to become a friend of this person. I want to be in a circle with this person because of the content you've been putting out. Okay, so that is the way the attraction really works. So it will help put you in the right associations if you actually know yourself. But if you don't, you keep trying to belong in the wrong places, right? So the next one is self-judgment and absorbed criticisms. Let me put that together. Okay, self-judgment, you keep judging yourself. Why am I not being able to do it like this person? Why am I not being able to do it like this person? Why do I have this weakness? Because that's what you most likely be seeing. You'll be seeing your weaknesses. You won't see your strengths. Some people are introverts, but because they don't realize that being introverted has its blessings and its causes, advantages, disadvantages, strengths, weaknesses. Being an extrovert too has strengths, weaknesses, advantages, disadvantages. But because you are wired as a human being to always think about your weaknesses, you will pick those ones and elaborate them. So some people will now come and tell me, Coach CJ, I don't know what to do. I'm very introverted, and everyone has been complaining, it's affecting my life. I don't want to be an introvert anymore. I'm like, wait. At some point in my life, I actually chose to become an introvert. I prayed to become an introvert, because you have to derive some meaning from your own energy. Listen to your own self. You have to have sometimes when you hang out with people, it's going to be draining because they're not reasoning in the same frequency. So at some environment, some point you'll be introvert, some point you'll be extrovert, you know. So that's how life works. We all have elements of different personality traits. We are all introverts and extroverts at the same time. It just depends on which one is predominant.
It's the
So there's no mean, there's no well I say there's no gain in coming to say I don't want to be introvert anymore, I don't want to be extrovert anymore. No, that's your personality. Embrace it. Find out your weaknesses, work on them, find out your strengths, work with them. Okay, so that's it. Self-judgment is going to be impending if you do not understand yourself, if you do not understand your uniqueness. Then the next one is absorbed criticisms, because people are going to come and tell you, you talk too much. There's some people that, you know, I hang around people a lot, and I have this I'm fond of telling people what they are good at. At a point, people thought I had a disorder because you spend 2 seconds with me, I'm already telling you, wow, your voice is so nice. Do you speak? You should consider public speaking. Consider teaching as well. You communicate so well. And the person is just looking at me like, hmm, I've never thought of this. Some people, I'll get on a call with them and we talk, and then, you know, I tell them something like, you okay, I'm trying to tell them like you speak well, and they're like, no, I don't. You ask them and they tell you, I don't have any skill. You see people like that. They say, I don't have any skill. I'm not trying to convince you and beg you to agree with me that you have a skill, that public speaking or communication is a skill and you have it. And they say no, you know, and that would have been an issue for me personally, because at some point people were like, you can't even have normal conversation with people without seeing potentials. What's wrong with you? I mean, it became an issue. At the point I was being selective. I want to talk and nothing will come out from my mouth because I will be restricting myself. I'll be caging my mouth so that nothing comes out. Because I know if anything comes out, you judge me. You're like, EJ, can't you just have conversation without sounding like a robot? Every time you are seeing potential, you are seeing skills, you are seeing abilities, you are seeing money. You know, that criticism can be absorbed, and you only see that aspect that other people are seeing as a weakness. You see that they tell you talk too much. There are some people that, you know, that talking too much is a sign of a gift that is not being properly harnessed. But because you don't know, the world around you keeps telling you you are talkative. You don't know that there's a public speaker hiding in you. There's a teacher hiding in you. And you just decide to cut out. I don't want to be talking to anybody again. And you withdraw into your cocoon, which is not good. But when you begin to understand, you can now start to explore what you already have, what's in you. So let's get to the how. How do you really discover that your uniqueness? How do you discover your uniqueness? Right? How do you discover who you are? These things I'll mention now will help you answer the question, who am I? And that's where it all starts. That's a big question. Who am I? What do I want to do with my life? Okay? You have to do an analysis of yourself. Go on a date with yourself. Go out with yourself. Buy Fanta or Sprite or malt, buy meat pie. Be happy. Bring out your journal or paper or jotter and write. Ask yourself these questions and write them down. Okay? Write them down. Go and ask questions like, what is my personality trait, my personality type? Am I introvert or extrovert? Am I sanguine or melancholic or choleric or anyone? Sanguine, melancholic, phlegmatic, and choleric. Yeah. Which of them? What are the features that make me up? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Okay. Now, when you talk about your strengths, when you realize your strengths, go and Look for these things you are good at, those things you do very well, those things you are very skilled at, that people enjoy about you, that people like about you, they commend and recommend you for. Write all of them down. Write all your strengths down. Write them down. Write everything you are good at. Cooking, sleeping, all of them. Write all of them down. Your weaknesses, write them. What will you do with your weaknesses? Your weaknesses that are personal affects, your weaknesses that will personally affect your dream, your vision, your mandate, your weaknesses that you cannot do without, go and build on them, work on them. Then the weaknesses that you can do without, outsource them. I gave this example in the training I came out from. Let me give you an example. If you're a coach and one of your weaknesses is PowerPoint design, you can outsource it. But you cannot outsource PowerPoint presentation. You have to be the
That's
one
it.
to deliver the presentation. You can't be a public speaker. You want to be a global public speaker, and your problem, your weakness is stage fright. And people will now come and tell you, ignore your weakness, focus on your strengths. Hey,
Strength.
you want to be public speaker. Your weakness is stage fright and your strength is dancing. And you want to go out there and tell them that one coach told you to focus on your strength and
Because
ignore your weakness. And you just put slide and you start dancing. He'll pursue you. He'll so pursue you. Okay? So find out those weaknesses and work on them. For myself, I know graphics design is not my thing. I paid and paid and paid and paid and paid to learn graphics. It no gree enter. It did not allow. I tried all I could, it didn't. So luckily, gracefully or graciously, God's infinite mercy came for me. And I started getting volunteers. One after the other. You've taught me so much. I've learned a lot from you. Let me do your designs for free. I had a lot of them come. I worked with some of them at some point until one of my proteges is also a designer, Cornelius Abodere. He does absolutely well. All of my recent designs that you see is Cornelius. And he delivers so fast. I mean, he does it with laser speed. He does it so well. So that's more like an outsourcing, right? If you can look for people to outsource it to, pay them, outsource it, let them do it for you. But the ones that are integral, I can't outsource speaking. I can't tell you stage fright or this one, and let me just find somebody else to be doing. No, 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 no. It's integral. It's a must that I have to do it myself. So that's it for your weaknesses that you understand. Write them down. Find out all these things. Sit down with yourself. Look at them. Occasionally, bring it out again. Look at that. All those that page or a long note. You've written plenty of things inside. Just be looking at them. That's one of the ways you get clarity. It's a journey. It's not a destination.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways you understand yourself. It's not something that will just happen. Boom. All of a sudden, boom. I just understood myself. Yeah. Oh, it's a journey. It's progressive. You are like an unfolding flower. You are like an onion. You continue to peel and peel and peel, opening and opening and opening. You keep discovering new layers each time. Beautiful layers. So that's it. And let me go to the next question you should ask yourself. What do I enjoy? What am I passionate about? What do I love doing? What can I do for hours without even feeling it? What can I do even late into the night? What 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 am I passionate about? What drives me? What makes me feel happy doing? What are the activities that whenever I start them, it seems like the whole world has paused so that Coach CJ will enjoy this activity. There are some activities you can do even if you've not eaten. You've not eaten food, but you can spend time doing that thing. I can teach for 24 hours. If you leave me, I'll just be teaching and I'll faint. I have to remind myself sometimes, slow down, slow down. Okay, shift this one. Don't do this one today. Shift it to August or September or December. Just, you know. So if you leave me, I'll just be teaching around the clock. I will not even eat. Passion. Okay, you have to understand understand these things about yourself. There's something that you do, there's something that drives you, whether you know it or not. There's something that drives you. Think about it. What are those things that you enjoy doing so much? Please don't tell me Netflix. Eh. Don't tell me Netflix. Yeah, you will quarrel here.
Sleepy.
Don't tell me, don't tell me it's Netflix, eh? Just leave that one first. Eh? Leave that, leave that one first. Or telling me is jumping from one social media channel to another. No. Or watching TikTok. Wait first. It's not what I'm talking. It's not what I'm talking about. Okay. But there are activities that when you do them, you derive so much pleasure doing those things. You derive so much inward pleasure, right? The next one you should also ask yourself is, um, what do I, okay, I've talked about this one. What do I want to do with my life? Ask yourself that question over again. What do I want to do with my life? And this time, don't be biased. Don't be biased. Don't say, oh, my dad studied law, so that let me not, okay, let me, or don't even do it because this is what you studied in school. When you ask yourself that question, allow your mind to go wild. You may have a master's degree right now in something you don't really want to do, or you're pursuing a career, a professional path, because that's the expectation. So you may have a master's degree in, let's say, engineering, but what you really want to do with your life is, let's say, teaching secondary school students or teaching sociology. And these two things are totally different. So because of that bias that, oh, this is what I've spent time learning in school, I can't I can't move, I can't transition. So you have to actually look beyond that when you ask that question. Allow your mind to burst open so that you can get the question correctly, can get the answer correctly. Okay. So the next thing is, what are my peculiar challenges? What are my challenges? What are the challenges I'm currently facing right now? This will help you to know where to go and where not to, where to start and how not to start, what to start with as well. You're in an environment where there's no light. You can get a power bank so that you can charge it with generator or charge it in somebody's house or something so that you can move. You know, you're in a place where you don't have good environment or good background. You find something to do, even if it is to launch out with audio. Fine. But these are the ways you explore and understand more about you, how you react to things. What are my emotions? How do I react to events when they happen? This is part of self-study. Okay? What are my past and present pains? Past and present pains. Because the truth is, for every event or circumstance that comes to you, it leaves you with a mark. It leaves you with a mark. It leaves you with a scar. Whether it is a win, whether it is a loss, whether it's a painful experience, it leaves you with a scar. Those scars don't leave you in the real sense. They are part of your stories, you know. So this, and when you understand it that way, it can become the building block for your story. It can become the building block for your for the value you would have to offer the society, the world at large in future. So what are your pains? You have to be able to ask that question. Okay? Your pain can become your, let me say, right in your pain, you can find purpose.
Yeah.
And you can make a message out of your mess. Okay? So whatever it is that you've previously experienced and what you are presently experiencing, you can decide to, now I'm drifting a little. This is part of what I do as a life coach, helping people rewrite their life stories, helping people, unbox from their past painful experiences and create something meaningful, change their view of pain. Exactly. I can see somebody making a comment. So you can decide to change your perspective, your perception of that particular pain and start making a meaning out of it. Once you change the way you see it, and understand that your pain is not here to kill you. Your pains, your mistakes, your failures, they didn't come to kill you. They are there so that you can learn substantial lessons for yourself and for your generation and for people around you. Okay, so that's how you should see it, so that you can actually move on. Now, like I said, these scars have become a part of you. You can heal from them, but they are still there. You can still see the scar. You know, when you have, let's say, a knife stab or something, you can see the scar even after it's healed. Nothing, people touch it, it's not painful and all that. But you know, oh, there's a scar on my thigh, there's a scar on my on the left side of my. It's part of you. And people, when people come to you and they're like, what happened to this place? You look like a freedom fighter, or you look like Sub-Zero. What happened to this place? And you tell them, when I was young, a dog tried to bite, no, a bear tried to bite my sister when we went to the forest hunting. And I caught the bear, and the bear was quite strong. Quite that was I was 5 years old then, and the bear pounced on me and tried to, tried to do mago mago with me, and I held the bear and tore the mouth of the bear. And while I was tearing the mouth, the bear's claws now scratch my eye. Whether it's true or false, we believe it's true, sha. But I'm just giving. I don't know why this example came to my head. It's a very strange example. But I'm just trying to, create an image in your head. You have a story that is interesting, and people now begin to, oh wow, so you tore the mouth of a bear with your bare hands. Yes, now the glory of God.
Yes.
I fried the bear meat. you know, they can now see, oh, this is it. But meanwhile, at that point, when the bear scratched your eye, that bear scratching your eye may be that you don't have school fees to pay for your, you don't have money to pay for your school fees. Maybe that you don't have a place to stay, accommodation or something. Maybe that you were molested as a child or whatever it is. But that's the experience, so that tomorrow you can stand on a stage and tell people, oh, this is what I went through. I wrote JAM 7 times before I got admission, and somebody who has written 2 times and wants to go and commit suicide will turn and look at you on that stage and like, oh, Swale Baba. so, so that's the purpose in that pain and the message in that mess. So there are many other things, many other questions you can ask yourself. What have I been doing since childhood? What have I carried as a part of me since childhood? What are my value systems and principles? What are my values? What are my core values? Okay, this is part of who you are. Okay, this thing can affect so many things. It can affect the way you market your product. If integrity, sincerity, service, or humility, or honesty is part of your core values, you will not come to your sales copy and lie. 10x your sales in 2 days, make 750K in. You something in you will be arguing with that thing. It may be a common practice for everybody, or 50 copies left when you know is a lie. When you know it's only, how can ebook be 50 copies left or 3 copies remaining? Ebook. you know, so when you know that this is my core value, it's going to influence everything you do, and you shouldn't feel bad about it. Okay, you shouldn't feel bad about it. So understand that. Ask yourself, how do I learn best? Do I learn from online courses best, or do I learn from ebooks? These are some salient questions. So it's not now comes to you and tells you, uh, uh, oh God, somebody's calling me. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, so it's not when people come to you and tell you, if you don't read 100 books a year, you are a failure. If you don't do this, if you don't read, every CEO reads 1 book every day, all those yama yama stories that nobody knows whether it's true or false, and you start feeling guilty. No, understand how you operate, how your system works. Okay, whether you prefer to read books or take online courses. These are some of the questions you ask yourself. Who are the people I admire? Who are the people I want to be like? Who are the people I want to be like? Who are the people I like their brands? Okay. Ask yourself, what time of the day do I function better? Another question you should ask, am I a multi-potential? Like, do I love to do many things? Am I interested in many things? Do I have multiple interests and multiple abilities? You ask yourself, um, what does, okay, I think this is another question you can ask. What are the things that I can do without, I mean, what are topics that I can talk about or write about without preparation for a set amount of time? Let's say for a few minutes or a few hours without getting tired or without even preparing. What are the topics I can talk about off my fingertips? You know, that's another thing. What kind of brand do I want to build? Okay, so final. I don't know who has been following. Let me know if you are following and if you've been enjoying this session so far. Am I the only one here? How can I see comments? How can I see comments? So I think I'm rounding off. I'm rounding off. So the final thing is, what does success mean to you? What does success mean to you? What does success mean to you? Okay, if you don't understand your definition of success, if you don't understand your own metric, your own success metric, you are going to be tempted to keep judging yourself based on the standards that other people set. At some point in your life, success may not mean money. I mean, may not mean making 100 million in 2 days or 3 days or 4 days. No. At some point in your life, success may mean more of impact and influence than, than income. At some point, it may mean more of income than any other thing. So, you can't be trying to start comparing yourself with other people's metrics when you already understand what you are called to do part time. Okay, maybe right now success to you, if they say take 100K or train 1,000 people for free, you will decide to go and train 1,000 people for free. And that's what success means to you, and you can't be judged for it. Okay, so you have to be able to understand that. What is your success metric? What's your personal success metric? What does success mean to you in terms of impact, influence, income, whatever it is, or even lifestyle? Okay, to some people, their definition of success means don't sleep at night, don't sleep at night, sleep only 3 hours a day. There are some people that if they once it's 10 o'clock p.m., their eyes are closing. And if if anything happens and they sleep by 11, that day like that day is not successful for them. Yet they are doing well. They are doing well, but to them, sleep is a priority. If you say sleep, it tops their list. Some people is food. They can't miss breakfast. Can't afternoon. Once it's 2 p.m., they're eating their lunch. Once it's night, they can't miss it. Never. So your ability to understand what success means to you will help you overcome all the pressure, all the yama yama pressure online, and focus on your own journey and focus on your success. So that's it. As we are end it for tonight. I hope you got value, guys. I hope you got value. I would really love to see the feedback. I'm not seeing anything yet on the screen, but I'd really love to see the feedback from this class. Thank you very much. So over to you, Sir Joseph. I appreciate the opportunity, the honor to come here and share my knowledge. I really appreciate from the depth of my heart. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Everyone viewing, please let's see your comments. A good words to Coach CJ. It's been amazing. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, I'm seeing. Yeah, thanking you. And tell us one of the points that hits you. Oh, wow. I've really been inspired. That's great. That's great. That's wonderful. Don't worry. Anytime you're around, if you have not followed him on Facebook or LinkedIn, any social media you're on, go and look for him. Like he has a way of inspiring, whether it's through violence or through any means. He has a way of inspiring. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Wow,
Thank
wow.
you.
That's great. Thank you, sir, for honoring our invitation. My notes is already full. Like I've got like how many pages is this? Like three. Like it's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom on this topic, discovering and maximizing your uniqueness. Like a lot of points you mentioned, you see, well, especially when you talked about the dangers of not discovery, I could relate. Somehow I say God showed me mercy that I learned a lot of things pretty early. But in my environment, I saw a lot of people who, when you see this identity crisis, have battled with it. And the social media, the world has a way of pushing things to your face. Marketers, oh my Lord. I saw you did
True.
a video today on fear of missing out. Yeah, I was very happy because I've somehow I've seen people that get stuck by that. You know, this what they are pushing this, pushing that, and copywriters will be copywriters. Their aim is to make you make a buying decision, whether it's good for you or not. So people are out there, they are confused.
By fire, by force.
Society is portraying this, portraying that, and then people are struggling. People are struggling. So their metrics for success is not internally generated. It's more or less
True.
environmentally inspired or environment. I'll not call it an inspiration. Environmentally
True.
generated. So people are battling. That's
Yeah.
why that's one of the things that cast this burden in my heart to be able to allow people be the best versions of themselves. You know, we
True.
stop using some matrices that don't add up. So I'm very happy, sir, because you've shed a lot of light, you've poured a lot of wisdom, and I think we have a lot of things in common. I think there's a time I mentioned this maybe in your DM. I say sometimes the post you make is like you're in my quiet place. you know, there are a lot of things we have in common when it comes to, for instance, passion. When it comes to teaching, oh my Lord, I could teach and I'll not know what hunger is. But when I finish, that's when the hunger will spare my need.
Exactly.
So, because it's my
Exactly.
passion talking to people, or I had an event to mark my birthday. Just my birthday was July 1st. So I had an event on the 3rd of July. It was still to teach anyways. But then someone now met me and I was like, hey, I want to see you. I want to. That was so my 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 schedule was almost altered because any opportunity to give someone clarity, expert anyways, thank God I was able to, though
Exactly.
I shifted the time. I had to shift the time 2 hours forward to be able to optimally deliver. But then at least I was able to deliver. So it's funny enough. The truth is, let me tell this story for those who are watching. I remember that a number of years ago, I usually told myself that I cannot teach. In short, I held it as a limiting belief for years. It's not like anything new changed. I had always had that passion in impacting the lives of others, but I always felt I couldn't teach, possibly because I was poor in communication. I had not learned how to effectively communicate, how to speak. So I had that problem. Even writing, I'd say I couldn't write. I held those two limiting beliefs. It's just the one of writing, I broke it just last year. And that's it. Because and then this year I was able to put out my first ebook and working on the rest. So I had that problem, but gradually, somehow, one of the things that helped me in the matter of teaching was the pulpit. Somehow, I got exposed to the pulpit and I was like, oh God, what's all this? And then I began to teach. Then the limiting belief changed. I was now like, I cannot teach anything except Bible. So I still slammed myself that I couldn't teach. There was nothing else I could teach except the Bible. But over time, when there was a time to reinvent and take what I do from the pulpit to make the world my pulpit, my stage, I now had to learn. And then I discovered that teaching has been a passion. It's just that I allowed a limited belief to put a cap over who I was. And so I couldn't express myself. And then I allowed also a bad experience. Something happened to me in primary school. They were having a debate, and then they says people from the audience come and what's that to talk? Come and put your, like what's your view, what's your perspective? I don't know what made me to carry up my hand. And then I went out there and I said I want to propose. I just got confused on stage. And then that made me think that I cannot speak. And then I slammed myself. But over time, as I began to revert myself, I just discovered that this is a passion. And this is now what I do everywhere. In short, now I proudly describe myself as a teacher. The difference is I may not be in the primary school or secondary school, but I am a teacher. That is what I do. I am bold to say it. Whether I'm teaching, what I'm doing, I'm teaching. I don't even go for the whole speech. Somehow I don't use a lot of energy when I speak, but I bring a lot of clarity. That's it for me. Even if I'm very quiet and but that's the clarity. The energy, gradually I'm adding the energy because we are young people, we love the energy. So really, that's the thing. Finding out yourself, you work on your strengths, and then, as you said, too, you also know how to work. Okay, you work with your strengths, and then you know how to work on your weaknesses. How to work on your weaknesses, and that will bring us to also what we'll be doing tomorrow. For those who are live tomorrow, join us. We'll be talking about polishing your uniqueness. Okay, because you discovered it's raw material. You have to learn how to polish it so that it sets you apart. It's just like we have wood, different types of wood, all different species of trees. But then for the timber to serve a purpose, it has to be refined. If not, at best, it will be firewood. and you're not you're not supposed to be firewood. Okay, there's a whole lot of things you can be as timber, is not firewood. All right, so that's the thing. Thank you so much, Coach CJ. It's been wonderful having you on stage and learning from you. I'm so glad. Please, friends, connect with him. I said Chijioke Otikpa on all social media. Connect. Anyhow, make sure you connect with him. All right, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and other social media platforms. So that with him, you can't have all those myths and the biases are holding you. He will break it. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think I'll is there a group or something? I wanted to drop my link tree. I don't know if there's any way to get it across. So anyone who wants to connect, I have one link that can, that leads to any other link: Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp. So anyone who wants to connect with me can just use that link.
I think I dropped that in the.
Oh, okay. It's in the group.
Yeah, yes, in the Facebook community, I dropped that. So friends, use that. You see Linktree, link.tre. How do they do that? Their link. Linktree. Once you every way you could connect with him. Okay. So you see it where we put meet our speaker. Yeah, someone has put it in the group.
Okay, love. So feel free to reach out to me. Anytime, any day. I'm open to connecting with you.
Okay, thank you so much. Friends. Tomorrow is 8 p.m. It's going to be massive. Don't miss out on it. I know you've enjoyed today. Can't tell your friends that missed today. At least would have your friends that missed out today. Please tell them, drop the link. Let them join in. Knowledge shared is massive, and tomorrow is going to be because we are progressing, we are building. We've learned how to discover how polishing, and then on Sunday, the final day. The speaker here tomorrow, Favor Chinaza, shared. So until then, see you. Have a nice day. Bye.